It's not a credible agreement. So come back, ASUU, let's sit back and review all of the things that was done back in the day in past and previous administration. So this time we can reach a conclusive conclusion of an agreement. Here we are with federal government and ASUU. That's as if that's not enough. Now the resident doctors have also gone on strike. You know, if you look at most of the items itemized, or the demands itemized by the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, you just wonder and you marvel. You be like, hey, what is so hard in all of these things to do? What is so hard? What is really so hard to do? You have an agreement to special pension benefits, and yet you haven't implemented them. Immediate reinstatement of 5 resident doctors, where 5 doctors were unfairly terminated. They want them reinstated. Progress on the collective bargaining agreement, CBA, where the salary structure review has stalled. They want progress on the agreement. Release of corrected professional allowances. Salary shortfalls occur due to incorrect allowances. They want these allowances corrected and paid. But when it comes to campaign, you will see money flying left, right, and center. Here in this country, in broad daylight. So the resident doctor strike is a culmination of years of neglect and disregard for the welfare of medical professionals in Nigeria. I mean, the demands include payment of unpaid allowances, improved working conditions, and implementation of previous agreements. Recall that the Nigerian government had promised to address these issues, but the doctors feel that their concerns have not been adequately addressed. Go home, my people. We have promised we will address it. We will fix it. And the NARD, or resident doctors, are saying, this is a rhetoric that we've heard countless times. And this time, we are not going home. We're not backing out. We're not backing down. We're not sheathing the sword. We will continue until these demands are met, because we know that it can be met. It only takes an order, a signing, a releasing. That's all it takes. It can be met. My dear friends, Sally, is it Saliu now? Saminu will say Nigeria is too rich to be poor, too poor to be rich. Oh Lord, we are rich in this country. Don't let anybody fool you. We are. If the issues of ASUU and the NARD, the education sector, the healthcare sector, if we want a turnaround, we will do it. Because we've seen where there are turnarounds in certain aspects of the country, and it goes speedily. So it is possible. But others are saying that the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors are just being inhumane. Probably they could have found a better time to come on with a strike. Not in a time when we are facing a heightened insecurity, even threats from the USA president. Not in a time when things are pretty tough. When poverty is taken over, or has taken over, and people are barely trying to survive. And then you come up with a strike. Don't you know that when poverty is increasing, it means that there'll be more diseases, hunger, issues that are health related, that will get people to the hospitals. And y'all swore by an oath to protect lives. But we are joined by Comrade Gerald Okachi. I mean, out of his busy schedule, he's out there in Anambra State to monitor the elections that'll be coming up, soonest, and all of that. And yet he's been able to connect with us. Comrade Gerald Okachi, welcome to the discourse this morning.
Thank you for having me. Very good morning to you, and thank you. Very good morning to beautiful listeners on the outstanding station in FCT and Nigeria.
Appreciate that one, comrade. Now, let me start with the personal story, right? But before then, I need you to know that the strike by the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors has affected government-owned hospitals, patients and their families suffering the consequences, which most of the time happens to be death of their loved ones. The federal government has appealed to the doctors to suspend the strike, promising and assuring that most of their demands have been substantially addressed, but they say nay. We will not bend to these normal rhetorics from past administrations up until now. No, we will continue this, and in fact they tagged it an indefinite strike. And Nigerians are paying the price. So this personal story is from a patient who says, as a patient who has been affected by the strike, I can attest to the suffering and frustration that comes with it. I have been scheduled for a surgery at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, but a procedure was cancelled due to the strike. I had been preparing for the surgery for months. The cancellation has caused me undue stress and anxiety. I urge the governments to listen to the demands of the resident doctors and address their concerns. 19 demands. Comrade Gerald, is it rocket science in meeting these demands? Can they be met?
It's not a rocket science, honestly speaking. It's not a rocket science. And just like you rightly put it, it's part of the rhetorics that we have seen successive governments, use in form of defense or use as propaganda to, confuse even the citizens. Resident doctors, who constitute the backbone of the Nigerian health care workforce, have once again, embarked on industrial action grounding operations in major public hospitals across the country. It's such a thing happened in FCT sometime this year, and they also affected me. But if not for God that helped me out, I would have been trapped in such a situation. These doctors are medical professionals undergoing postgraduate specialist training. Yeah, they handle a large percentage of clinical duties in teaching hospitals and federal medical centers. So their strike typically paralyzes critical services, just as you mentioned earlier, like surgery, emergency care, outpatient clinics, laboratory operations, leaving patients stranded and increasing mortality risk. You understand? And if you look at some of the things they are, agitating for, unpaid salaries and arrears, you wonder, which includes the COVID-19 hazard allowance. Somebody risked his life, works in COVID-19 amidst lockdown. Monies we are receiving from WHO, UN, UNESCO, and what have you, USAID, UK AIDS, etc., including Bill Gates and Belinda Foundation. And sometimes I don't know where our conscience, I don't know how to put it in a context. That to reason that up till now, you can't tell me that all these things are not captured in all of the budgets from the 2020, 2021, 2022 dates. Each year we present budgets. Part of the budgets part of these agitations are captured in budgets. And if you do thorough investigation or investigative journalism, which costs huge money, you will discover that these monies are released to sectors that are supposed to take care of this. But they will divert it and claim that it is insufficient. They will divert it using grammatical tools to confuse the educated. That in the paper or in the explanation, it will sound reasonable as if they are doing the right thing. But reality.com will show that what they present is quite different from what the realities are. So you have seen the poor working conditions if you go to our general hospitals. Doctors face inadequate facilities, obsolete equipment, and shortages of drugs and consumables. Of course, it was a recent, I think, and then sometime this year that accident victim was presented in one of the government-owned hospitals in Abuja. And you saw a lady claim that they don't have gloves, as nature has gloves, hand gloves, to attend to accident victim. That is to tell the level of solid state these working conditions these doctors are facing. The solid state, you go to general hospital, you see the long hours, poor ventilation, lack of security accommodation in hospital. If it demoralizes work, if you had been, in fact, before I left Abuja to Oka, I had to mobilize some people close to me to go to general hospital. They were like, come later now, I'm going to general hospital. I will stay there from morning till 4 p.m. I was like, but I think they are more equipped, they have more trained staff than private. You know, what I'm trying to do is not as if I don't know that private to attend quickly. But the capital involvement, if general hospital is to cost maybe 20 or 30, by the time you go to general hospital, you'll be spending almost $500,000 naira. And this kind of things is what is causing this brain drain and heavy workload that you can begin to push like a mental disorder. The mass exodus of the Nigerian doctors, which we popularly call Japa syndrome, which has left fewer hands behind to handle overwhelming number of patients. They have been calling for recruitment, and we have people that are not employed. And the ones that we employed, many of them, greater percentage have Japa, and you don't want to replace them. Those some of the ones that have Japa are still receiving salaries even abroad. The ones that are left behind are suffering enough. That's why anyone that has small chance in another country, he will prefer to stay there because of the welfare, the work package, the moral of working. You look at the overworked doctor, sometimes covering for hours, still neglected by government. You look at the demand for training funds, irregularities, funding for residency, training programs, crucial for medical specialization. It's often delayed or underfunded, making it hard for doctors to complete training or accept study grants. You look at the repeated breaches of MOUs, memorandum of understanding that have signed, or memorandum of action between this land and government of Nigeria. He has deepened mistrust. They will tell you it was feedback during the campaign. He told us he will never experience strike under his watch. Neither ASU or reason what have you. But we have seen it repeatedly shown. In fact, this year alone, it's not only ASU that we have faced. In FCT, which is the capital of the federation, we have pupils that are in the secondary, that is the primary school level, did not go to school for one full term, one complete term. Yes, we celebrate infrastructural giant strides of Wike and the rest in the FCT. But when it comes to human capital development, it's zero. And that is where priorities of this government lies. It causes public health crisis. Emergency and routine services are disrupted, leading to preventable deaths and deterioration in patient conditions.
So, comrade,
I have over three petitions before even the organizations that are making them, because of preventable deaths, child mortality, things that are very, very preventable. But you see people losing lives as a result of this kind of crisis. So, industrial action reduces confidence in the Nigerian health care system and discourage investment. This kind of frequent strikes signal systemic instability, encouraging more health professionals to Japa to different environments, especially abroad. Teaching hospitals lose credibility as centers for training and research when academic calendars are repeatedly interrupted.
Well, comrade, just before we go further, because I'm going to be taking a couple of messages in a short bit, but before we go further, let's go pay some bills. Yeah? When we do come back, we will ask to know whether it is the NARD that are insensitive, especially in a time like this when Nigeria is facing insecurity threats as well as facing threat from the United States president about having boots in ground to clear out terrorists, or is it the federal government that is also being insensitive, to the plight of Nigerians? We will come back and we will have that conversation. Right. Well, it's still Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. We see your messages. You can also put a call through when we do come back. Of course, it will be your voice being heard. I mean, we are dying at different levels. Insecurity, if it's not insecurity, it is health related. If it is not health related, it is accidents, bad roads, and all of that. I mean, it's just a lot. And now to add this strike to it, what is our fate?
Your number one radio experience you can count on. Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Any motor where you dey drive, you need confirm protection, no. For your engine, no. Make a mobile. Make it mobile, no. Make it mobile, yeah. Anywhere you dey, your motor deserve to be number one, yo. Make it mobile, no. Make it mobile, yeah. You carry the go. Make everybody join me, say. Make it mobile.
Make you go with the best.
Make it mobile.
Whether you're flying for a family celebration or a much-needed reunion, fly Emirates and start your holiday on board. Explore up to 6,500 channels of entertainment, including live sport. Stay connected with onboard Wi-Fi. Enjoy special meals and toys for kids and relax in comfort with world-class service all the way. Choose from over 150 destinations, including Dubai, India, the UK and USA. Book now at Emirates.com. Fly Emirates. Fly better.
Things they happen for our community, eh?
Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Hey, yeah. That woman own don't finish.
My dear, let's go and greet them, okay?
Hey! Join Media Coalition and Awareness to hold trafficking, MICAT, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by MICAT and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
If you dey sell cloth for Abuja, better update don land for you o. No need waka go Lagos, Aba or China again. Wetin you dey find under your Sokoto? Wipte Clothing, the ogbonge wholesale supplier wey you fit trust for Abuja. If you waka enter Wipte today, e no go even reach 20 minutes before you carry your brand new cloth wey you go sell quick for your shop. The men's bill na 355,000 naira for 100 pieces. Women own na 245,000 naira and children own come be say na 235,000 naira. So your whole shop go dey ready for every customer. Call or WhatsApp 090-4346-6219 today. No more long story, no more excuse. Your customers no go dey vex for you again because stock no land. Wipte Clothing, the oga patapata for this business. With Wipte, your profit go double, no shaking. Call or WhatsApp 090-4346-6219 today.
Power Homes and Shelters, a real estate company. We love you, you're reliable. Power Homes and Shelters, a real estate company. We love you.
Ku saurari wannan muhimmin bayani lokaci ne na Powell a rediyo Abuja. Powell Homes and Shelters Limited ta zo da hangen nesa na sauya fannin gidaje da hanyar kirkira, salo da kuma amana. A Powell Homes and Shelters Limited muna da gidaje masu araha, jin daɗi da kuma amincewa da harkar gidaje. Muna siyar da filaye a farashi mai rahusa, gidaje masu kyau, tsararru na zamani da kuma sauƙaƙa hanyoyin biyan kuɗi don cika burin mallakar gidaje. Ku ziyarce mu a yau domin ku gwada inganci da za ku iya dogara da shi. Adireshin mu shine lamba 52 Swiss Crescent, Abacha Estate, Wuse Zone 4, Abuja. Ku kira mu ta 081-510-0000 ko kuma 080-925-70000. Ku kira mu ta 081-510-20000 ko kuma 080-925-70000. Yanzu bari mu ji abinda yar uwanmu kuma fitacciyar jarumar Nollywood Patience Uzoko Mama G za ta faɗa game da wannan kamfani.
My people, my name is Patience Ozokwo, popularly known as Mama G. G for General. Do you want to buy genuine lands and other properties and need a brand you can trust? Think Powell Home and Shelters Limited. With a reputation built on honesty and reliability, we ensure your investment is secured. Our team of experts is dedicated to providing personalized service tailored to your needs. Join countless of satisfied customers who have found their dream properties with us. For inquiries, please call 0815 102 0000 or 0809 257 0000. We can get you property from any part of Nigeria. Think real estate, think Powell.
Na gode Mama G saboda wannan kyakkyawan jawabi. Kada ku manta, ofishinmu yana lamba 52 Swiss Crescent, Abacha Estate, Wuse Zone 4, Abuja. Muna da rassanmu a Enugu, Owerri, Awka, Asaba da kuma Nairobi. Da zaran kayi tunanin harkar gidaje, ka tuna Powell.
Homes and Shelters, a real estate company. We love you. You're reliable. Our Homes and Shelters, a real estate company. We love you. You're reliable.
Sorry for the inconvenience. I suppose it was inevitable.
Eagles 102.3.
And so we're back. Conversation still trending right here. We'll open the phone line so you can add your questions or add your calls and ask those salient questions that's bothering you. And if you have been affected one way or the other, and you might as well want to tell us what it was that you experienced and what you think about which of these parties, the federal government or the NAD, is insensitive to the plight of Nigerians. You let us know already via the number 0907-353-0044 or 0908-766-8888. And the WhatsApp portal number is 0909-705-4450. The producer says call the number again. All right, so I'll just put out the number again, just this last time, 0907-353-0044. That is the number. All right, taking this call now. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, UD.
Yes, good morning to you, please.
Yeah, well done, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate this. There can be. Hello?
Yes, UD, I can hear you. Yes, I'm calling from National State.
Awesome.
Taking the home
Right. Talk to us there, Kimby.
I want to quickly say that doctors, I think, they are not far from the truth. They're supposed to be well taken care of. Just like guests have said, they are the backbone, our medical system. And someone has to be in a stable mind and comfortable to be able to take care of others. You cannot help others if you cannot, help yourself. And this is coming at a time that subsidy, has been removed and there is more money. One Honorable Chike Okafor, he confirmed that one House of Rep member is taking as much as 1 billion naira. So there is more money now, and the president is throwing money at politicians, and there is need for him to throw the same money at others, like doctors and the rest. Thank you.
Okay, Turkin B right there says, as you show love, to your colleagues who are politicians, show love to the sectors of the country that really need it, right? And going to this call now. Hello, good morning. Hello? Okay. Hello, good morning. Yeah, good morning to you. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
My name is Honorable Edward.
Honorable, welcome aboard. Talk to us, Honorable.
Yeah, I think this issue is high time to advise our president to look into the reason why this fuel subsidy was removed. I don't think it's being utilized. This fuel subsidy was removed not to give money to governors. And if you look at it very well, our governors, the bulk of this money is being charged to state governors. And then what is the result? Our medical personnel are going on strike. Then what else? You want to hear from this insecurity? Trump is threatening to intervene. Imagine the consequences of Trump coming to sending his troops to Nigeria. Imagine what nobody knows what will happen. So I think there's a time for Mr. President to do the right thing at the right time by looking for leave this governor's money, reduce this, and let's settle most of our problem in this country. My brother there, Ekibi, he said something which I want to correct it because I am part of it. What the members say, 1 billion, it is constituency project. It was given to them. It's not hidden. Because if a member is taking 1 billion, if you are saying that in this country, you are putting a lot of fire in this country, because if the masses are aware and without knowing that the 1 billion naira is not constituency project, is given to each member. Mind you, they have constituencies and they have constituents. Imagine the impression. We are having a lot of institutions, so that for things we need to confirm. Right. Each member was given 1 billion naira. You identify your constituency project and put in the budget. It's not their salary. Each senator was given 2 billion. To me, it's okay. But look at it. Contractors are there protesting that they have done the work. They cannot be paid. So you see, the whole thing is so complicated that we're finding difficult to understand what is happening in this country now. Okay, look at our hospitals. Each one is a hospital now. Where some people cannot go with the level of the economy. They cannot even move from here to Benue State, to attend to a cheaper hospital, all those things. And our doctors on strike. President need to do something. If you get people who will implement the real agenda for the removal of fuel subsidies, that thing is giving us a lot of headache.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. It's giving us a lot of headache. And correction right there to Tekenby in love. All right. Now let's get back with you, comrade. But just before we get back, so that I don't miss this messages, right? I see this one coming from Samuel all the way from Kuje now. He says, standing on existing protocols though, what the government is doing to the doctors, for me, is evil and wickedness. It is another form of terrorism in disguise. What I mean is this: when the people in authority cannot take proper care of the medical personnel and put the hospitals in proper shape and conducive for the health of the masses, is an act of terrorism. The same people in authority will go outside the country for their own medical treatment because they know that they are not taking proper care of the doctors and the hospitals are in shambles. Do they know how many people are dying because of their insensitivity to the plight of the people they are meant to govern? They don't care about the ASU because their own children are not in any school in Nigeria. What a shame. All right. Have a great and wonderful day, he says. Now, I see this one coming from Triple D all the way from Waru now. And he says, good morning, man with a golden voice, Mr. UD. Good morning to you too, my brother. Okay, imagine these issues you have listed. Today you hear 3 weeks ultimatum from ASU. Tomorrow you hear 2 weeks warning strike from labor. Next tomorrow you hear 1 week warning strike from resident doctors. Oh, it's not 1 week from the resident doctors anymore, Triple. It is indefinite, all right? So they don't even know when this one is going to close. And next tomorrow, okay, now he says pensioners protesting, workers complaining of bad pay, NEPA power grid collapsing every now and then, road network challenges, pipe-borne water challenges, light, the same challenges, good health systems challenges, security killings on a high increase, part of the challenges. Listen to what your guest said. Where is the money? But you are claiming a sovereign nation. Don't worry, Nigeria will work and we will get it right by God's divine grace. Triple D says right there. All right, now, Uchenam from Lokogoma says, good morning, presenter. Good morning to you. The resident doctors are simply demanding their rights, and the government should grant them what they deserve. If this administration truly cares about the welfare of the people, it shouldn't need anyone to remind it to act swiftly. Unfortunately, the only thing occupying their minds right now is the 2027 election and the influx of politicians that camping to the APC. It is quite disheartening that political office holders who contribute little or nothing to the progress of this nation have access to enormous amounts of money, while the doctors, the very people who save lives and serve the masses, are left to languish in poverty. What has happened to the funds generated from subsidy removal? And what about the billions being borrowed daily from the World Bank and other international agencies? Sadly, the Nigerian government appears to have become anti-masses. And yeah, what about the aids that has been given to us from the USAIDs and all, as the guest has also put out there? Okay, some questions. Well, let's hear from you, Comrade Gerald. How do you put all of these together? Who's complicit in this stance? Is it the resident doctors, or is it the federal government being insensitive?
It's not just being insensitive. I think they are just being inhuman, you know. It's just pure wickedness and evil against humanity. Because it was this particular government that have oftentimes claimed that they have met their target for the when it comes to maybe a new generation. That is, they over met their target. At the same time, they are borrowing. So if you over meet your target, what do you mean that? What it simply means that you have a surplus. A surplus that at a point you can, if it includes, it says excess crude accounts. So now if we are having a surplus from either Federal Land Revenue Service or from custom or what have you, why can't you resolve all of this? Why must we always be reactive as a people and not proactive? Because resident doctors went on strike, you begin to hear that they have released 11.9 billion. Why didn't you release this earlier, if not evil, if not wickedness? You are waiting for them to react, for you to take actions before you react. So I don't know how to put it together, and you begin to see people begin to, make defenses that you're a sovereign nation because of a comment from. Why wouldn't people of good conscience not do interventions? Must we Nigerians shout, be on the street, or take one form of action or the other before our government will sit up on what is expected to them? Just recent tweet of President Donald Trump, we have seen the development he has generated in Nigeria. They have started facilitating presenting lists for ambassadors to represent Nigeria in different nations. Whereas our president has been there for more than 2 years.
And he has advisors.
You understand? You are waiting for maybe pressure to come before you take action. There's no nation that progresses with this kind of mindset or mentality. So, moving forward, governments must honor all previous agreements with resident doctors and medical unions. Ensure timely implementation of salary structures and arrears. They are very critical to restoring trust. Create health sector industrial arbitration panel to mediate disputes earlier before they escalate like this, like we are facing today. Because for each hour we go, people are dying. Strengthen engagement between resident doctors and Federal Ministry of Health and, of course, Ministry of Labor and other parties Let us see how we can improve working and training conditions. Invest in modern hospital infrastructure to ensure availability of equipment and consumables. Provide housing, safety, and insurance packages for doctors, particularly those in high-risk zones. Fund medical residence training, and ensure that these retention and motivation strategies, that is non-monetary incentives such as clear promotion paths, continuous professional development and recognition awards, implement flexible contracts and mentorship programs to retain young doctors. In fact, if not, I'm just trying to use polite, airworthy language, because the way I feel with regards the way we run our system is I'm lacking the words or vocabularies to use. Let us see how we can encourage professionals, CSOs, to advocate for accountability in the use of healthcare funds. The recurring strike by resident doctors is a symptom of systemic neglect within Nigeria health care structure. Now, if you have somebody like a medical practitioner around you in your home, if you are asked to give advice, what advice do you think you can give such a person at this particular point in time? You understand? Can you hit your chest, okay, let us stay together and work together? If the person has opportunity to japa, this kind of system is what makes people little opportunity again. They want to japa. So I can only advise for me, for them to stay strategically, or skill, diversify, advocate, and plan financially. They shouldn't depend on government salary or what. Of course, that is what they have been doing in recent times. You see somebody working in government hospital, he will find a way to engage himself in the private services. You understand? Yeah. But if they must japa, they must do it purposefully. Plan ahead, get license, and stay connected to contribute back home. And in both cases, protect your mental health, because it was sometime last month or thereabouts, we had a report of a medical doctor that collapsed where he was working. Another returned home due to exhaustion from work. He collapsed.
Okay.
You can't die because you are treating others. So I want them to stay professional and remember that their career is a marathon and not a sprint.
Let me ask you one question for a yes and no. Do you think that this government is serious about nipping in the bud the issue of health or the healthcare sector issues?
Not just the health. I have already answered you.
Okay.
You understand?
They're not serious.
They are not serious at all, because if they are so, we shouldn't get to this point.
Okay.
If they can begin to announce that they have appealed to resident doctors to, postpone or shield or, their strike, and they have made approval or paid 11.9 billion. Where was the money since?
All right, comrade, can't go any further.
If you don't have money, you are announcing to Nigerians that you have overseen your target for the year. Why can't you use the assets to solve these problems?
Well, comrade, I can't go any further on this one, though, but thank you, Far Too Kind, for adding your voice in the discourse this morning. Appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you for having me.
Sure. Right, and to each and every one of us for being a part of this, thank you, too. I'll see you on the flip side of 10 o'clock for the General Open Banter.
Eagles 102.3.